Have you ever struggled with CORS issues and still doesn't know what really happened? Then this video might be for you. CORS means cross-origin resource sharing, but let's skip the theory and get into an example. A common scenario is when you have your web application served from any domain like web.domain.com and your backend API from a domain like api.domain.com. So let's say that a user visits your website. The browser goes and makes a request to get the web page, and the server is going to respond back with the file. While the browser processes the HTML and static content, at some point it makes a request to our backend server. The backend sends the response back, and boom, something bad happened. At this point, you might be wondering what happened. So the first thing you can do is go and review the console. And there you go. We have our lovely CORS issue. That is telling us that the request was blocked because of a missing header. And to double check, you go and review the network request, and indeed, we are not receiving the access control allow origin header from the server. So you might be thinking, how do I get rid of this error? We have a couple of options. One if you own the backend server, and another one if the server is from someone else, so you can control or modify anything there. For the first option, it's quite straightforward. What you need to do is go to the backend and make sure that you include the access control allow origin header. You can use the asterisk that lets everyone access your server resources. If you want to be more restrictive, you can specify the domain from where the web page is served. For the second case, we might want to send a request to a backend with control and from there make the request, also known as a proxy. If this is confusing, don't worry, we will dive into the code later, but for now, let's assume we added the header to our backend server. Here, the browser triggers the request, and when the backend server sends a response back, it includes the access control allow origin header, and boom, it's working as expected. Now, let's see in action. Here I have a project. The frontend is built with Create React App, and we have a request to our backend that is running on port 8000. Our backend endpoint is quite simple. We just return a JSON object. So let's start our frontend and backend. If we review the developer tools, we can see the console error telling us that we have a CORS problem. And if we go to the network tab, we don't get back the access control allow origin header, as you can see. Just keep in mind that this error only happens if you try to make the request from the browser. If you execute a CORS or from another server, you won't have the CORS issue. It's merely in the browser. So, in order to solve this issue, we just make sure to send the header back when the request is made. And boom, everything is working as expected. Let me know if you want another video where I explain how to build a proxy server in case you can't control the backend. And thanks for watching.